A home, unlike anything you've ever seen before. An icon, married to a cliff atop one of the most prestigious lakes in all of Texas. Inspired by the natural world, designed by one of the great Frank Lloyd Wright's apprentices. This is more than just a house. It's an experience crafted to usher guests into a world of unknown possibilities and limitless imagination. Designed by an artist, for an artist, this home is the ultimate creative expression of harmony between humankind and the natural world. And it will stretch any preconceived notion you have of what a house ought to be. And it will turn any skeptic into a believer in the magic of architecture. The Sand Dollar House is a renowned home here in Lakeway. It's gone by several different names over the years, including the Nautilus House, the UFO House, and the Mushroom House. But I don't think any capture its essence quite as well as its current name. But as we near the entrance, I do think it looks like a colossal mushroom. But it isn't until you start getting underneath this mushroom cap that you really start to realize just how special the home is. As you can see, this series of ridges and pores and windows that are really similar to the ribs and lunioles of a sand dollar. Now to the right, we have this curved ramp which leads to a staircase that goes down and accesses one of the bedrooms, which we'll get to in a minute. The front door is entirely surrounded by glass, and you can see this custom transom window above, which allows you to see the continuity of the ceiling structure onto the inside of the house. But I know what you're dying to see is what's inside, so let's make our way in and check it out. Upon entry, you're greeted with this heavily textured wall of plaster, and I mean, you can seriously feel the craftsmanship that went into it. Along the ground plane, these white tiles are arranged in an organic curving pattern, reminiscent of the flow of water, and they convey constant movement as they guide you into the most breathtaking living space I have ever seen. From within this room, you can feel why the home was dubbed the Sand Dollar House. I mean, it literally feels like you're standing within a Jurassic Park-sized sand dollar with the ocean water rushing beneath your feet. Now, this wall of windows along the northwestern edge gives a sense that you're not trapped inside a home, but still outdoors, protected overhead by the cover of this mammoth shell. It feels like a structure that's been here for a millennia, created by nature and merely discovered and inhabited by humans. The architect, John Covert Watson, is an Austin, Texas legend who built most of his homes in an organic modern style. He studied under the legendary Frank Lloyd Wright during his design of the Guggenheim Museum up in New York. And you can see a lot of Wright's influence on Watson, particularly in his reverence for nature in his designs. Now, Watson wanted to create buildings that felt natural and that seeked harmony between nature and the built structure, maximizing interaction with nature and with an emphasis on efficiency. You've got this curved fireplace, and the skylights and the wall of windows allow natural light to flood in, and the way it bounces off the white paint gives this place a really vibrant ambiance. Now at the far edge, Watson installed planters to bring some of the natural world into the home, and they're actually equipped with drainage systems that actually allow water to flow seamlessly out of the house and into the backyard. This home features soft, rounded edges throughout, and in this room, it serves to maximize the connection to the outdoors, to not obstruct the beautiful views of the lake in the same way that straight edges would. Now, this wall of custom windows features these sliding glass doors that offer access out onto this large, rounded balcony where you can step out, enjoy the fresh air, and look out over the lake. Again, fostering a connection between the inhabitants and this magnificent setting. Now, I do want to tell you, I spoke to the owners, and they actually told me that how they originally found this house is that they were on a boat out on Lake Travis, and they looked up here and thought, what the heck is that place? And they decided from that day that if this house ever came on the market, they were going to go ahead and snatch it up. So they ended up waiting and waiting until finally the day came that it went on the market, and they knew it was their time to strike, and here we are today. Now, before we move on, I do want to give some additional information about the home. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, humble 2,240 square foot home built in 1979. Now the way they shaped this is actually a steel frame that was bent to create this structure, and it was then sprayed with a gun that sprays gunite, which is the material that they actually use on the inside of pools. That's how they make pools. So even though these walls kind of look like stucco, it's entirely gunite. There's no stucco. Now, this home is not currently on the market for sale, but it's about to hit the short-term rental market where you can have nightly stays. If you go on, book it on feelaustin.com or Airbnb. Now I will say, you'll get a cheaper rate if you book it directly from feelaustin.com, so I would encourage you to do that. I'll put the link in the description. But if you do decide to come stay here, I want to let you know this isn't a party house. This is a one-of-a-kind art piece of organic modern architecture. So I just ask that you respect that and take good care of it when you come. I just want you to come, enjoy, and appreciate the art of John Covert Watson. Now let's go ahead and move on to the kitchen and check out the rest of this place. Making our way through, you've got this custom built-in bench as well as access out to a secondary balcony. And as you round the corner, we enter this one-of-a-kind kitchen. Now, this is not your chef's kitchen, but it has everything you need to cook, and it offers a really special cooking experience. Now, this wood used on all the cabinetry is true to the time period in modern architecture, and you've got these cool blue glass penny tiles all along the countertops. And the room is surrounded in windows, offering a lookout similar to that of a lighthouse. And my favorite aspect of this kitchen, and honestly of the entire house, is that there are no hard angles. Instead, it uses these fluid, organic curves that mimic the movements found in nature. I mean, think about it. Even us as humans, we don't walk rigid like soldiers, but we move in a flowing pattern when we walk, and it's just fluid. And this house really taps into that, and it makes for a really comfortable experience. Now you've got all your major appliances in here, as well as this custom fixture above with these hooks for hanging your pots and pans. And across the hall, at the edge of the kitchen, more towards the living space, you do have this built-in mini bar for crafting all of your favorite concoctions. Now let's go ahead and make our way over towards what I think will be y'all's favorite element of the home, and that's the stairwell. This stairwell offers the ultimate Alice in Wonderland moment. It feels like you've been shrunk down to a miniature size and entered deep into the whirls of a seashell. Now in the center of the ceiling, there is a seashell sculpture right where all the ridges and skylights meet, and it's cool. It's like a miniature of the overall house structure. And the lighting permitted by the skylights is so dramatic, and it gives a really out-of-this-world feel. The stair rail is this soft curve reminiscent of the spire of a seashell, and these wooden steps feel like you're stepping down towards the ocean. Now once you reach the bottom, you've got this special little alcove that features a mid-century modern chair and a light, and it's the perfect spot for sitting down and reading in this cozy little zone. To the right, you have your laundry room, but let's go ahead and check out these 3 bedrooms before heading outside to see the backyard and deck. Taking a left, we enter the primary bedroom, which you can see is flooded with natural light, and above you've got this curved ridge which guides your path to a set of stairs that leads to a recessed lounge, as well as a door to access the outdoors, seemingly calling you outside. Now to the left, you've got this fireplace which actually feeds into the one upstairs, offering heat to both levels of the house, emphasizing John Watson's intent to maximize efficiency. Now you've got a king-size bed with this translucent lucite bed frame, plenty of closet space, as well as ample recessed lighting up above. Now let's go ahead and check out this magical primary bathroom. This bathroom is like something straight out of a fairy tale. Sticking with the seaside theme, you've got these green square tiles used on a lot of the surfaces in here. They're arranged in these flowing patterns reminiscent of the waves. Now you've got this double vanity with mirrors on mirrors so that you can see all of your angles. And just behind, you've got your toilet and bidet, but come check out this circular window. It's a portal that frames these picturesque views of the lake. I mean, I didn't even know that a window could make me feel such a way, but this window really does it for me. And it provides pristine natural light as you bathe in your ornate bathtub or rinse off in your open shower, which is just as curvilicious as the rest of the home. And let's make our way down these steps into the recessed lounge. Now, the change in elevation allows these bay windows to feel that much grander, and it also offers this space a sense of seclusion, feeling like an entirely separate zone from the rest of the room. It's the perfect space to come with your partner, sit down, enjoy a cup of coffee in the morning as you enjoy these views and the sun blesses your skin. Now, this home was designed for a local Austin artist, Eugenia Hunt, and it was meant to be her sanctuary and her studio, a place for her imagination to run wild and her creativity to flourish. John Watson deeply understood how architecture and your environment can influence your mindset and well-being, and he wanted to make this a place where she could escape from the dull practicality of a typical built structure. Now, before we step outside, let's go ahead and check out the other two bedrooms. Right off the primary, you've got this secondary bedroom, which bears much resemblance to the primary, just on a much smaller scale. Now, it doesn't have an attached bathroom or the lounge, but it does have this wall of windows that again offers pristine views of the lake below. Now, on the right, this third bedroom is a little bit larger than the second bedroom, and it's almost entirely surrounded in windows that offer not only views out, but also access out to the deck and that ramp that we saw at the entrance of the home. Now, this one also features an attached bathroom, which has more of those zany tiles that we saw arranged in round patterns, this time in more of an amber color. And the shower is a bit more enclosed than the primary bathroom. Now, let's go ahead and make our way out and check out the deck and backyard. Finally, let's check out this deck. Right to the right are the steps that lead up to that ramp from the entrance. And like I said, Watson was an apprentice of Frank Lloyd Wright, and he noticed that Wright used a lot of these wine stem-like flowering posts as support, and so he implemented this into a lot of his designs, and it became kind of a signature of his. You can see it in a lot of his homes, just like we see right here. This deck features multiple levels, and it's the ideal space to host your guests with a view of the lake for any dreamy sunset event that you might have planned. I mean, the only sounds you really hear out here is the wind, the rustling of the leaves, the water as it pushes up against the shore. You can hear the birds chirping, and occasionally you can hear the engine of a boat as it passes by. Now, at this end, you do have stairs that lead all the way down to the water's edge, but they are original 1979 and they're in a bit of a state of disarray, so the owners have blocked it off. There's a keep out sign, but they do have plans to install a funicular, which is basically just a tram that will carry you all the way down so you can once again enjoy life on the lake. From out here, you can see the house exactly as the owners saw it on that first day when they were out on their boat and they saw it from the lake before they purchased the property. Now, you can see out here again the bulbous forms. Right here, this is actually the primary bathroom, and this is that portal window that we saw, and it just looks phenomenal from out here. And up here, we finally arrive at your backyard. It's not a particularly large space, it's pretty small, but it's the perfect spot to let your feet touch grass and just enjoy the vistas as you're surrounded by the nature. Now, they do actually have plans to install a pool right here, preserve the yard space, but the pool will cantilever over the cliff's edge, so you will have a beautiful view of the lake as you relax in your swimming pool. And that concludes this home tour. It really was such a pleasure to show y'all this incredible one-of-a-kind property, and honestly, it's so magical, I don't even think the video will do it justice. You really have to come here in person to experience life in the Sand Dollar. So if you want that experience, then I encourage you to go ahead, sign on to feelaustin.com and book your stay now to make any night one to remember. I want to give a huge thank you to Bobby and Karina, the owners of the property, for allowing us to shoot and show y'all this magnificent one-of-a-kind art piece. And if y'all want to see more of the most incredible homes that this world has to offer, then I encourage you to like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all soon.